In today's video, I am going to put pegboard up on the wall, and I'm going to place my chargers for all my cordless tools up there, place for my batteries, place for all the cordless tools. The other corded tools will go down here later, and my clamps and that type of thing will go up there. I'll be able to get rid of one of my carts. More floor space is a good thing, and it's in far enough against the wall that I can still put like a toolbox here or a garbage can or whatever, something on wheels so I can just roll it out of the way when I need the tools. Nice, easy, compact, and different. I know people tend to build a cordless tool rack that they put up on the wall. It holds, say, 8 tools or whatever. That's great. You can't expand it. You got to find places to put tools or build another one if you buy a few more tools. You run out of space eventually. Not only that, but it does tend to invade. It comes out a ways away from the wall. This way everything is up against the wall as tight as I can get it. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Unfortunately, a lot of people get stuck with the idea that this person has the right idea. This is the best way to do this. I don't agree with that. I think everybody should exercise their options. I like doing things different. I don't want to do it the same as everybody else. Okay, step 1. 4x8 sheet of pegboard. Step 2, take some 1x2s, cut them into 4-foot sections. Okay, here we have 2 stud finders. This is the least expensive one that you're generally going to find out there. They all look pretty much the same. They can be different colors, slightly different shapes, but they're all going to look something like this. They have a button on the side. You press it once. It's for your standard thickness drywall. You press it twice. It's for thicker or for wood or something like that where it will penetrate a little deeper to find the studs. So it's not going off constantly. So if you get a bunch of false readings, let off, click again. Immediately it should go to the deeper setting. This is standard drywall. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to press it once, place it on the wall so it's facing upward. Hopefully you can see the light up at the top here. I press the button, green ready light comes on. I slide it over. Where the red light comes on and the arrow shines on the wall, that's where my stud is. So, right there is the beginning. Right there is the end. That should be the location of my stud. I have got one wood carpenter's pencil here. It's a very, very nice pencil. It stays very, very nice because I leave it in here so it doesn't get lost and I can never find it. So it stays nice. I have a suggestion. Take up a collection. Go to your local hardware store. They're cheap. Get a handful. Throw them around. That way you'll always be able to find one. Okay, hopefully you'll always be able to find one. I'm using a pen. It's going to be behind wood. I don't care. So there's the first mark. So what I'm going to do is go over to this side over here, and I'm going to use my second style stud finder. I'm going to use it upside down. Hopefully you'll be able to get a better view. It's got a level in it, so you can find level if it matters to you. It's got a little, a very, very short tape on the top to tell you 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch, 6 inch, 7 inch. It has strips on the back side so that it slides easier. It's got one button. You press it one time, it is on. It has this row of lights along the top. When you find a stud, those lights will start to light up and they'll follow the stud. So that's on. Don't fall off your ladder. It's painful, especially when you get older. Okay, so that's the location of my third stud. Since I want to make sure that this sits up nice and tight against the sheetrock, gives me a nice solid connection to the wall to hold up plenty of weight, I'm going to put it up against the wall. I've got my marks for where the studs are. Now what I want to do is I want to check where I want it on the sides. I have the door over here. I have the shelves over on the other side. And I have my marks for where the studs are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my nice little level here. I'm going to check and make sure that I'm on the correct side. Okay, so that misses the shelving. Oops. Hey, there's a ceiling there. And that misses the door. So a good location for that. I'll take and mark this. Where I want to put the holes. So one there. One there. And one there. Okay. Next up, I will be using my level again. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that up here where it's in a nice dangerous spot, or it might fall down and break something. Because that's the way we do things around here. Quality tools are a big thing for me. That includes quality bits. The biggest reason I like to be able to make my holes quick and easy. I don't burn them. I don't burn up my batteries trying to make a hole in wood that doesn't want to get drilled. If I run into a knot, I can drill right through. It's not a big deal. Okay, now the biggest thing to remember is as we're putting this up, the traction, what's holding it up there, is the wood against the wall, not the screw in the wood. Okay, 4, 5, 6, I don't know, something like that. Putting pegboard up on the wall. Again, or still. Okay, the next step, The next step is going to be putting the piece of wood up on the wall itself. Mine has a bend in it. It's quite well warped. Now, I really don't care because this is going to be hiding behind the pegboard anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my level and I'm going to put it up on the wall where I want it to be. Now, it is not mandatory. I'm using pardon me for a moment. Okay, I'm using an impact driver to put in my screws. You don't need to have an impact driver. The nice part is it's not applying torque directly to your wrist. So when you're driving in a screw and you want to get it in there good, if you are using a drill, when you get down to the end, the drill wants to drag your wrist over. With an impact, it doesn't. It puts basically no impact. It puts basically no twist on your wrist. If you've ever used an impact on a bolt or something like that, same effect. It's a lot easier on the body. A little noisier, but I don't mind. Many years of loud music and loud tools and louder cars has pretty much destroyed my hearing anyway. So now that we've got this straight, I'm going to go ahead and put the other two in, quick and easy like. There we go. Nice and flush. Nice and flush. Since I'm using a softer wood, I don't have to worry about it cracking the wood with the head when it countersinks itself in. It's one of the nice things about using a softer wood. Then it'll be a lot easier to get screws into later. Alright. Okay. So, first piece is up. That will actually hold the top of the pegboard. I'm going to put 3 more in. They're going to be slightly less than 2 feet apart. The bottom board is not going to be at the bottom of the pegboard because I'm not as worried about holding it straight. What I do need to worry about is the pegs going into the pegboard will pull back on the top and in on the bottom, and that will cause waves in that pegboard. So I'm trying to avoid that by having these closer together. Okay, so now that I've got the top board in, My next step is going to be putting in the other 3 underneath that. They're going to be slightly more than 2 feet apart. I'll leave the bottom fairly loose. I have some pieces that'll go in behind it just to give it some support, but the majority of the weight is going to be up top, and that's where it'll be being held from. And voila, as if in magic. And voila, as if by magic. All 4 of them are now up. Okay, so anyway, so yes. So I've got all 4 of my backers up. This is what I'm going to attach the pegboard to. I do have a couple of other spacers in here if I wanted to actually put them behind there. So if it started to move or something like that, I'd take and disassemble it, put a couple of spacers in anywhere that they're needed, and firm it up basically. I have nothing holding it down the sides. That shouldn't be necessary. Just these 4 should hold the pegboard in place very well for what I'm going to be doing with it. Pegboard is like a hardboard, so it's not something that's real flexible, and it doesn't have a habit of warping. Okay, take 6, 7, 10, 13, I don't know, something like that. So basically, the only reason I'm filming this is because it has great potential for comedy. I'm going to, all by myself, pick this up. I'm going to put 1 screw in the corner up here to hold it in place, and then I can start putting the other screws in. First, get it up, then get it squared, and then start tacking it in. This is working along, folks. See how this works. Probably a little old for doing this. I'll probably pay for it, but you know, it's no fun if you can't cause yourself a little injury in every project, right? All right. What kind of luck are we going to have? Now let's see if it's squared up. Okay, to give you some idea of how strong it is at this point, I could hang on this and it wouldn't go anywhere. The friction of the wood up against the drywall and friction of the wood against the pegboard keeps it from going anywhere. So even with only a few screws in it, that's going nowhere. Once I get the rest of the screws in it, start hanging stuff on it, it will stay right where it's at, never have an issue with it. Alrighty then. Okay, now since I've got the pegboard up, mounted in place, lots of screws, what I'm going to do, this is a charger for my DeWalt tools. I want to mount them across this line right here. So what I'm going to do is put 2 screws in so that I have the correct width where I want the screws to be. I'm going to check where they are. And then I'm going to mark where I want to drill. Now where I want to put in the screws at any rate. Decisions. Screws, the holes in the pegboard aren't quite right, but they're not quite wrong. Not right enough, not wrong enough. All right, we'll give that a shot. We'll throw in a couple of screws. We'll see if it fits. Since this has the opportunity to go wrong, I'll leave the camera running while I do it. All right, see how tight it is? Probably in a little too far, but that's okay. Got to start somewhere. Okay, nope. I guess that's in right exactly where I want them to be. Now we're going to run the wires. We'll run the wires all along the top, and they'll come into a power strip that's going to sit underneath the shelf right here, so that everything's nice tucked out of the way, not getting itself into any trouble. I'll continue down. I really enjoyed getting my cordless tools up on this pegboard. I can see them all. They're all easy to get to. I can see the batteries. I know what batteries need to be charged and are charged. Basically, everything's ready to go for me, and it's all easy to grab. If I put anything in front of it, it'll be on wheels, so all I have to do is move it out of the way. Boom, I got full access to everything. I'll finish getting everything else up on there. I've really come to appreciate the tools that I've got. It makes every job easier. Although it's taken a long time to collect them, having them is very nice for the projects that I do. I will be showing more of those projects in the future. Hopefully you'll be here to enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe. By all means, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. If you appreciate the way that I'm doing these videos, please let me know.